Okay, we're good.
Alrighty. I can't see anything. Are you like
Oh,
streaming it or
yeah,
something? Or?
yeah. Let me stream for you. Sorry. Yeah, should be good now.
Okay.
Okay, so this is TsDL, round of 64. We have Trinhuv versus Testarossa.
Okay, 64s, all 2 out of 3s. I'm not familiar with all this, to be honest.
You know what? This actually might be 32. Let me double check.
What's the format like? Is it like 2 out of 3? Is it 3 out of 5 or for whatever reason?
Oh,
Is it just best out 1?
Yeah, no, round of 64 is best out of 3, and everything is up until the finals, which is best of 5.
Okay, okay.
Anyway. Trinhuv looks like he's running a pretty standard box other than Landius. Well, I mean, he's not running Juggler, so still 2 tanks. Doesn't want to be
Still
super...
2 tanks.
Doesn't want to be
I
super
prefer
defensive.
Landius, to be honest. I feel like a dog is... He's good against AoE boxes, but I feel like the AoE units, like Lucretia, can also single target you as well. So it feels kind of scary with dog these days, but I haven't played for dog in a few months, to be honest. So I prefer Landius, especially if it's unique. It's really, really good against those ranged attacks.
Yeah, there's a lot more single target units these days, and I mean, I think Landius Aura is still really good, especially against units like Kiera.
Yeah, the Landius Aura is really good. The minus 15%, and the 30% chance the not crit is also pretty big as well. Sometimes you're even dead, even under Hilda Aura, but with the 15% chance and the 30% chance to not crit, you can survive like that. So
Yeah.
I like Landius quite a lot, to be honest.
Testarossa, on the other hand, I mean, also 2 tanks, but there is Juggler, and like you said, that does make Testarossa's box a bit weaker against mages, unless Testarossa just opts to play a more rush-based strategy.
Yeah, but Trinhuv is using a very mixed box. Some AoE there, some single target there. A little bit more towards the single target side, to be honest, but it can go either way. It's a very, very versatile box Trinhuv has.
Yeah, I think Testarossa leans more towards AoE with units like Crimzo.
Yeah, there's a lot of AoE units there. Only a few single target units, but definitely more AoE focused, for sure.
Yeah, Werner's...
And he's trying to outrange with units like Werner as well.
Yeah, Werner's just here to be maybe an attack buff or assassinate one person, or even just for his talent. Sprint attack buff, all good. So let's see how they go.
Okay.
First man Rosin when you're playing an AoE box mostly makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, first pick Kagro. So I like doing this a lot. I like first picking Kagro or Megalo. It's just very, very comfortable to play because you know what your goal is assassinate units and get either free trades or favorable trades. So in the end, your 4 units beats their 4 units, or if you can get free kills, something like that. So I really like first picking Kagro or Megalo. It's really, really strong in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Kiera, she just does so much. She outputs a lot of healing, she removes debuffs, she has gospel for people. She's just a great unit in general.
Yeah, and see that Testarossa banned 3 healers, but Kaguro is also sort of a healer as well. This is not that great of a healer, but he can definitely heal to the extent that you don't die to 2 AoEs. You might need 3 AoEs to kill a Kaguro team. So yeah, it's quite nice, quite nice.
And Trinhuv's running Liko, so if he's really worried about getting banned out of a healer versus AoE box, he could still pick her up.
And then you can also pick up units like Luke as well, because Luke also can sometimes bring Gift of Eternal Life. Same for Moldius and TsDL as well, but TsDL is mage in this case. So definitely a decent amount of healer-esque units on Trinhuv's side.
Yeah,
so it's not too bad to lose 3 healers outright.
First pick Himiko is pretty crazy.
Yeah, first pick Himiko. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But Trinhuv is being very, very safe. Gonna pick up the Liko. Maybe picking up the Hilda it might be good because you sort of invalidate some methods on Testarossa's side just by picking up the Hilda. For example, you sort of evaluate the pushing ability from Himiko. You make Helena a lot less useful. You make the single target ability from like a TsDL and Lucretia as well a little bit more useless as well. So I would not mind if he picked up the Hilda there, but he chooses to go with Liko, which is definitely much more safer for sure.
Yeah, and banning Lucretia though makes perfect sense. And at this point, I would say Trinhuv's kind of being corralled into picking a tank because Testarossa picked up Helena, who's really good against tankless.
Yeah, I really hope this Landius is also bringing Overlord's badge, because if he isn't, then he might be in for some trouble, unless he has to gospel his Landius all the time, which is kind of a waste sometimes.
Yeah, with Himiko putting out a lot of mobility down, it could be tough for non-Overlord's badge Landius.
Yeah, Overlord's badge Landius is also pretty good these days, because Overlord's badge is really good against Lucretia, which for the all these debuffs with the single attack skill is really good against that. So I would not be surprised if this is the Overlord's badge Landius. Very common, I would say, more so than the Blood Pact.
Yeah, even against other debuffers, just having those immunities means there's a lot less debuffs on your tank, which means the nastier debuffs are a lot easier to remove.
Okay, so Landius. Okay, so let's look at Trinhuv's side. He decides to ban these units while picking up Kagero. So your goal to pick up Kagero is to assassinate some stuff, right? So far, you cannot assassinate Himiko for the most part. It's very hard to assassinate Helena, but you can sometimes. But it really depends on the damage up buffs and the terrain, all that, a bunch of factors. But he chooses to ban Kagero, which is fine, because it really is a pain in the ass to sort of trade with each other. He bans the Rosen there. There is a few AoE units there, so I can understand that. It bans the Luke is fine, because Luke has 2 lives, that I agree with. But he misses out on banning Helena second. So maybe banning Helena might have been a little bit better than like banning a Rosen. Because I don't think Testarossa is really too concerned about picking up the Rosen that early. Because if he picks up the Rosen there, he can use Kagero to assassinate a lot more units there. So I don't really agree with the banning of the Rosen there. But he does have some fair AoE units there, so maybe he's more comfortable like that. But generally, I try to ignore Rosen when I have Kagero on my team.
I mean, Rosen, can she survive with Empress cards?
I don't think so, to be honest, because the thing about Kagero is that she has good range, so you can always find a method to King's Crown your Kagero. So even though normal Kagero might not kill, King's Crown Kagero might kill.
Yeah, there's also a lot of AoE in Testarossa's box too, just to knock off.
You can AoE a little bit and then sort of finish off with the attack. That's a little bit hard to do against Rosen. But generally, I don't ban Rosen with Kagero first picked. But maybe that's just something that Trinhuv prefers. It's definitely a preference thing.
Do you feel like Trinhuv needed to ban Kruger?
Yeah, I don't think he needed to ban Kruger either. I think Kruger is generally mostly dead, especially if you have a True Cross on your Kagero. Like for example, if Testarossa picks up the what's his name? I've got all these AoE units names. What's his AoE unit?
Oldius?
Called? No, the one that got banned.
Lord of Crimzo.
No, the other one. I'm really rusty on my AoE units.
Shit.
You've got to. What was it?
I'm not sure. It's Crimzo, Kruger that got banned.
Kruger. Is it Kruger?
Yeah, it's Kruger.
Yeah. I haven't played with AoE units in a long time, but I generally do not ban Kruger because I think Kruger is generally dead to Kagero for the most part. If Testarossa picks up the Kruger here, you can ban over 2 units. For example, you can ban up the Hilda you can ban up the Mobius, and then now your opponent has no damage down sources and has no anti-crit sources. So I think it's a fairly easy kill with Kagero there. So I don't agree with the banning of the Kroger there, but Kroger's debuffs are quite annoying, and Trinhuv doesn't really have like super healers like Rosen and Liana against those debuffs. So it's understandable, but I feel very, very safe when my opponent picks up Kroger there. And I would just ban up the Mobius and the Hilda in this case. And I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Kira can just, if she really needs to, she can gospel herself, and then Kruger AoEs her, and she just heals back up, and she can just kill him anyway, and it's pretty much fine. Because, like you said, there's no damage down, there's not a lot of... He could have gone a route to ban the Hilda and prevent any sort of anti-crit, so yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, when you pick up assassins like Omegalo and Kagero, try not to ban out units that you can kill. Because if you're killing units, if you're banning out those units that you can kill, there is really no point of picking that unit that assassinates in the first place. So I would not ban Kroger there, but it's not a bad option, but I would have generally banned something else. For example, I would have maybe banned what else is there here to ban? Oh, maybe a ban like Dog here.
Yeah.
Dog can be really annoying, especially if your single target units get banned. Which if Testarossa bans out the TsDL, it bans out the Ares, for example, it might be a little bit harder to kill Dog.
Yeah, I agree that Crimzo also doesn't need to be banned. He has a second life, but he's a pretty low output unit, and I think that Kira and Liko can handle what he's putting out. But I guess it could be dangerous with the AoE combo already forming on Testarossa's side.
Yeah, I do feel like Crimzo is sort of like weaker than Dog here, because Dog can jump in and generally live one hit. It's sort of like Crimzo in this case. Crimzo goes in and lives one hit. So I think they're very similar in that sense, but the Dog can also play a tank role, can play the anti-AoE role as well. So I'd rather ban the Dog there instead of the Crimzo. But to be honest, Crimzo is just a weird unit. Most of the time you just don't know what to do against them and you just mess up, because new units are generally new problems.
Yeah, he has some annoying stuff about his kit. He's a real endgame menace, I think, with the hide.
Yeah. He can definitely be really strong endgame. Trigger a bunch of revives, and the healing down is pretty good as well. But yeah, maybe if you're just scared of new units, you can just ban them out and just stick to the normal game plan. But sometimes having new units in your box is also just a downside, because they're just not as good as some other units, for example. You don't see much Crimzos in many people's boxes.
Yeah. TsDL makes perfect sense to ban, so does Helena, because Testarossa is going to be playing tankless. Trinhuv banning out the mobility and the Dog, like you mentioned. Going to be playing AoE.
So the TsDL here pick up, I'm not sure about this. Because Testarossa's side, he wants to just AoE a bunch of times, right? He's looking to AoE a bunch of times and see how that does for him. I'm not sure if that TsDL is really necessary, because Dog can jump in AoE and tank. And I don't think you're gonna single target Landius down. Landius is really tanky against ranged attacks down. So I don't agree with the TsDL pick.
I feel like she's getting more picked for strengthen and teleport here than anything else, and off healing as well.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, I guess there's no more buffers for Himiko, for example.
Oh yeah, I mean just flow.
Just Florentia though, yeah. Yeah, but I'd rather pick up like Dog there. Dog is AoE, tank, and anti-AoE unit. And once you ban out the single target units from Trinhuv side, I think it should be fine. But yeah, it is an interesting pick. She's still a strong unit, but I think the Dog might have been a little bit better there.
Yeah.
Even like, for example, the Burn might be a little bit stronger there as well. But Burn kind of dies to Kagero, so I want to try to avoid picking up Burn if possible.
Yeah, Burn can tank with Guardian Infantry, but it's definitely risky unless you have some sort of damage reduction like Landius or crit negation like Hilda.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes even with that, you can die to King's Crown and such.
Yeah.
But Trinhuv has no King's Crown right now because it's all banned. Yeah.
Testarossa banned out Ares and Sherry. Sherry's a definite menace against what could be a tankless comp, and Ares has a pretty good AoE combo here with the Kruger. Testarossa does get flow.
Yeah, he does get to pick up the Phalangia. That's his. I'm not sure if that's. I guess the other units aren't really that great in terms of AoE, and Testarossa definitely wants to AoE a few times with the Phalangia. That's understandable, I suppose.
Player 2 Act Again, also good. Plus Testarossa might get Hilda.
Does Cherry often kill Heleno? I'm not familiar with Cherry's kill power, to be honest.
I would say definitely not if Sherry is running,
The Royal Cavalry should...
Yeah. I mean, if Helena was running
how about like Angels? Because he's gonna want to bring Angels against Kagro. Do you know if the Cherry kills that kind of Heleno?
I would say no if Helena's on terrain for sure. Otherwise, I could see it. If not with one action, then it would be with the double kill. Will certainly do it, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Cherry as a unit. She is relatively new. Yeah, I just treat her as any sort of assassin for the most part. So she's usually banned quite quickly.
She can have like 1800, 1900 attack, something like that, and she gives.
She can have quite high attack for sure.
She gives a decent amount of attack to her troops as well. I guess it could be interesting if she runs like unicorns. Maybe that could do. Well, no, that would not work against angels. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually go the goblins.
Goblins you go if you're gonna run Shadow Raid, and then you'd also run Legion usually. You don't run 3C, and otherwise Sherry just usually runs angels. But Jiraxis brings up a good point. If Helena hasn't chived yet, then Sherry can potentially stun her with 3C. So maybe doesn't need to kill.
Yeah, that's if you have no guarded unit. I think if in general, if Sherry 3Cs Helena, she should be dead, regardless if you have soldiers or not. Because you can just 3C into normal attack.
Yeah.
And that should be a kill anyway. But yeah, it's just different units have different kill powers. I'm not familiar with Cherries, to be honest.
She is still pretty new. Burn Helena.
Definitely agree with banning those two. You can now the Phalangia is not gonna have an infinite amount of ticks, so that's quite nice. Okay, the pick here should be the Moldius, right? Because Moldius is pretty good against the Kagro. I don't think you need a Licorice anymore.
It seems like Testarossa has enough healing. I mean, it is Kruger, and Liko in this situation has to run... Okay, no, because there's Oldius pick from Trinhuv. I was gonna say she has to run Faction, though. She still kind of does, but you could also just, you know, ignore Liko Unique and run old double AoE Liko. That seems fine here.
But I think you need to bring the Faction buff anyway, because you want to... She's more of a healer in this role instead of an AoEer. So she's gonna bring the Faction buff, I believe.
Yeah, we'll see. And then Oldius might not bring his, because it'll hit Kira and Kruger. And as for Testarossa, yeah, I do agree. Probably Oldius. Yeah,
the Oldius from Trinhuv's side definitely brings double AoE, because he gets Faction buff by Landius anyway.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah. And yep, Oldius.
Yeah, so Testarossa has no tanks. But Trinhuv has no single target units outside of Kagero. So if you're careful of Kagero, I think you should be fine.
Elfmaster Oldius is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. He also brought 0 lives as well. So what skills did he bring? He did bring lightning? He brought lightning to kill Angel Henna? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be good in the late game scrap fight.
He also brought faction buff as well, so I'm guessing this is just a weird choice of faction buffs. Yeah, you don't need that many faction buffs on your team. He definitely could have gone away with bringing a 2C wall instead of the faction buff for Moldius.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this is Bracer Landius because the attack's pretty low. The skill's green, so it's either Bracer or Overlord's badge. Looks like Bracer to me. Overlord's badge usually has like 16,000-ish HP or more.
Yeah, that's fair assessment. Yeah. Okay. So here, I want to bring about for Kagro here. It's I would definitely bring just bring like Dark Elves. You don't need to bring Faceless because Kagro should be able to normal attack kill Helena.
Yeah.
From what I recall, because what happens with Holy Kagro is that she attacks last, and the Dark Elves attack first. So that should be a kill on Helena for the most part, especially if you bring Faith. So he did not need to bring Faceless there. I think regardless if you don't crit or if you do crit, I think they're dead anyway, for the most part. I don't think any of these units live crit or no crit, especially with a faction buff from Licorice.
I feel like it could be different if Helena's on a tree, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe...
it could be. In that case, if you're scared of tree, you should just bring Redemption. Redemption has a good animation to kill Helena.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that skill's animation, but from what I recall, Redemption does a job against that. It's just a very short range attack.
Yeah, and there's no tank, so it'd be just fine. And all the other skills look pretty standard here. Like, TsDL is bringing just strength into... Pretty much just put it on Testarossa's team. Brought the heal on Florentia instead of mass attack, which I also think is fine. You want some sort of answer to Kruger.
The Himiko is gonna have... gonna survive, right? The HP is pretty decent. Because, wow, that defense is pretty high. To be honest.
Probably, it could be Judge Talent. Oh no, this is Overlord's badge, green skill.
Yeah, but what Testarossa is scared of here is getting in with the Himiko and just dying to double AoE. There is double AoE from Trinhuv's side, but Moldius' AoE is not very strong relatively to some other units. So maybe he can live. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, Trinhuv is playing very passive. I like that because you just want to set up yourself and then stay out of range of a bunch of AoEs for the most part, and attack with Kagro when you have the chance to.
Yeah, I like the Evil Overwhelming on TsDL too because she'll probably be acting again a lot.
Yeah, I think that's fine, but I think TsDL is gonna stay relatively far back. So, well, I guess it didn't really matter. There's a bunch of debuffs there. But yeah, it gets cleansed up relatively quickly because she acts again. So the Evil Overwhelming only has one tick right now.
Yeah. And
so I'm not sure if I would have done that on TsDL. Maybe something like a little bit slower, like Moldius, would have been a little better. Maybe even a healer would have been fine as well. See, right now it's all gone already.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Maybe by the time Kruger engages, there won't be enough debuffs for his talent. Because it is
this Florentia also cleansed out pretty much all the debuffs for the most part.
Still 4 up, but he does really want all 6, otherwise his damage suffers a lot. I find this act again interesting. I guess...
Healing technique, okay. Single target AoE, heals up to Kagro.
Takes out the buffs.
Yeah, he basically has no buffs now. Okay, this is gonna deal some AoE damage. He can hit from the backside. He can hit from the backside, and that'll avoid the Kagro hits. But it seems like he doesn't want to do that. This won't kill for sure.
Yeah.
And this seems kind of a little bit pointless, to be honest, because Kagro is gonna heal up most of the dudes. and then mass heal from Licorice is gonna do the rest.
Yeah, maybe not.
I guess he's gonna try to snipe the Landius.
That will kill, yeah.
That will kill. That's an interesting move. I'm not sure if I would have dark guarded with Kroger there. Doesn't really do much. Because the Landius is still dead, right?
Yeah, and I was just thinking it was interesting that if you go back like a turn, Kruger only had one debuff up, so that's why his damage is really lackluster there.
Yeah.
I mean, Helena probably finishes.
Yeah, this should be almost. If it takes the proc for the fixed damage, he'll kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Lightning Oldius did some work there.
Oh, it's a shame that this Kagero is still silenced though. If it wasn't silenced, actually you can't get. It was sealing technique, so
yeah,
you can't be ignored. Yeah. It's kind of a sad Kagero there.
Sealing technique was really clutch here. The extra healing from Kiro really would have been appreciated.
So that move to attack with Helena and at the end is pretty good as well. It's still not over yet though. Kruger is kind of annoying to get rid of. With these two units don't really deal much single target damage, and there's a healer on that side. It's gonna be a little bit tough to get rid of the Kroger.
Yeah, it feels difficult for either team to really kill each other here.
Yeah, someone has to get. But Trinhuv does have debuffs on his side. If he gets a anti-heal, then it should be good enough.
Yeah, and pretty much mobility down. Debuffs aren't really gonna stick. Liko can just mass heal every turn. So yeah, let's see.
But they are gonna do a decent amount of damage, I assume.
Oldius was heal blocked.
Okay. Pushback is nice. Give me some space. Oh, how did he move that much? He moved quite a lot, but it's very hard to kill Kroger. Killing Warlock units are kind of tough in the end game. They're very, very annoying. You got a 10 buff. But that would have never killed regardless, so that's just a weird move. I guess he had nothing else to do.
Wanted to save Himiko's action for last because he doesn't want Liko to just be able to heal it off this turn. And yeah, it looks like Himiko's just going to be really ineffective here because Liko just heals it off every single turn.
Yeah, and the faction buff was not stolen, so he's able to mass heal every turn. Like, okay, triggering that. And then the Moldius lightning's back up, so maybe lightning will kill someone again. Potentially. Yeah, this should be a kill with lightning.
That was really close, but yeah.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was. That was a lot closer than I thought it was. Like, I'm surprised it did that much damage. I'm guessing this Kroger is not a Star Earring. Star Earring would have survived that a lot more better.
Yeah, it's a Vidar's Rose, I'm pretty sure.
Vidar's Rose. That's pretty good HP for Vidar's Rose. No, that can't be Vidar's Rose, can it? Yeah, it could be, yeah.
I don't know.
That's pretty good HP. That's pretty good HP for Vidar's Rose.
Yeah. But yeah,
the Warlocks are just too strong. Too much healing.
They are definitely very good at endgame.
Yeah. So the payoff for the lightning Moldius actually was there. He brought the elves, which is very good. He managed to kill the Helena without much issues. I think if he brought just Warlocks, it would have been a lot tougher for sure.
Yeah.
So that paid off. That's good. That's good.
It's cool to see them on them. You wouldn't really expect to see it, but they took out the Angels, and then Oldius was just able to kill the Helena with the Lightning.
I would have probably just brought the Dark Elves on Kagero, but I guess that works as well.
Yeah, I felt like Testarossa went in a bit early. I don't think that he had to go in so quickly. I mean, I guess he saw the Lando kill.
I think that was fine. Because eventually it's gonna happen, and you're gonna attack before he manages to AOE you. So I think that was fine. I think that was fine. The sealing technique into going in, act again, going in again. I think that was good. It just unfortunately was not able to beat Trinhuv there with his lightning attack. His Helena was supposed to live a little bit better, but unfortunately it just died.
Makes sense. Like, if Helena lives one hit there, she can do a lot more work.
Yeah, just to be annoying is enough. They sidebox at all? Yeah, they did sidebox one. Trinhuv sidebox.
Ares for Celestial.
Okay.
On Plains, which I mean, it's a good Lusty map. I don't think it's would you say
it's not terrible? It's not terrible.
It's not great.
The top and bottom map is good movement. Yeah, it's not a bad Celestial map. I think it's one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I just wouldn't say it's one of her best.
Okay, but Testarossa changes nothing at all?
Yep. Just run the same stuff.
Okay. Okay, so first ban Kagero, okay. And then second ban Hilda and Rosen.
Yeah, Rosen. And Testarossa bans Rosen, TsDL Burn.
I wonder why he felt the need to ban Hilda that easily. That seems unnecessary for Trinhuv side, because he does have AoE potential, and maybe just trying to bait out a tank pick.
Yeah, honestly, with what's left in Trinhuv's box, Juggler wouldn't be too effective. There's still
there's a bunch of single target units. I can see Trinhuv picking up like Luke next if Dog was picked there, but he picks up Helena. Probably just pick up a tank, which is very good.
Yeah, Helena's a menace against tankless.
Okay.
Celestial Courier band's fine.
Okay, so he's just trying to ban out the AoE units. I'm not sure about banning the Himiko there. Maybe banning Dog was better. I would probably just ban Dog instead of Himiko.
Yeah, it feels like Sherry could do a lot of work against this composition. Even Lucretia. Like, if there's no Dog to tank one hit, maybe. Because a good Dog could definitely tank one Lucretia hit.
Maybe it doesn't, to be honest. I haven't really tested it, but I assume the minus 30 defense MDef is too much for Dog. It procs the tech for sorcerers as well. So I feel like Dog is just dead to Lucretia, even with faction buff. I have that feeling, but I'm not sure if I'm correct or not.
Yeah, maybe you'd need to bring Mass Resist to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, yeah, Himiko is still annoying, so you can ban it whenever. It's fine. I don't blame you.
Bit less effective against Hilda because she can't do her pushback, but I mean, Sealing Technique's still really good. Her buff steal is really annoying. Yeah, you can definitely kill faction buff Dog with Lucretia. It depends on your Lucretia build. If it's Gift of Eternal Life, it's going to be a lot harder for her. Scepter as well. It can still kill Dog, and it also depends on whether or not you're full moon, because that's Lucretia's highest output enchant.
I generally don't think the weapon for Lucretia really matters for killing Dog. From what I remember from testing out TsDL kills, it was really the sorcerer's damage output that was lacking for the kill. Because it really depends if your sorcerers can 2-tick lobsters or not. But maybe Lucretia is a little bit different. I'm not too sure myself.
I know that my dog died, but I run a crappy 2+2 dog, not steel. So and the Lucretia was very close to killing my dog, and it was a 6-star Lucretia. So, and
okay.
not everybody would have 6-star Lucretia right now.
2+2 is actually not that bad against Lucretia.
Yeah, I felt like if I had MDef down immunity, I would have lived.
Yeah. The thing about Lucretia is her attack is her intelligence is not very high relative to her damage up, and that's the opposite for TsDL. TsDL has very high attack because her 3C pretty much makes her intelligence 1.2 times more effective. But Lucretia does not have that ability. She just has a high moderator a damage increase from her talent, and a decently high 3C mod with the magic defense down.
Yeah.
So I think if you can mass resist, I feel like you can live.
I guess the thing with Lucretia that really matters is that her damage increase works on her soldiers, whereas TsDL only has 15%, I think, from her talent.
Yeah, 15% is what she has. But the intelligence boost does not really help soldiers. So.
And like you mentioned, the debuffs going through will improve Sorceress's damage.
Yeah, you definitely need to prevent that. But there are a lot of ways to prevent the M defense down. So I feel like the 3C is a little bit overrated, to be honest. Dark Scythe is very nice. Dark Scythe is very nice.
Yeah, the nice thing about her 3C is the healing, but she's a really flexible unit, and especially if she's bringing mass attack, 3C seems like it loses a lot of versatility.
Picks up the burn here. Burn does provide the faction buff for the Florentia, but now she has Testarossa has no guard against a magic attack, so it might be a little bit rough here.
Yeah, because Testarossa doesn't exactly have a good way to get through Hilda. I mean, Burn's a good endgame win condition against Hilda in tank push, but
he might not make there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the units like Sherry don't really make endgames that possible. It makes endgames possible if you trade out your damaging units, but with units like Lucretia around, usually you don't reach endgame. You just settle in the mid game.
Yeah, this output is too high.
Okay, but Testarossa might have a little bit trouble tank busting this Hilda. It's gonna be very hard, I feel, especially if the Hilda's built to some extent. It's gonna be hard with Sherry around.
Yeah, Testarossa's tankless, so once Sherry gets in range, she's gonna 3C something. Even if she doesn't kill it at that point, it's one unit down, and you can't dispel the stun, and then she can just injure another unit. Really good tempo. I guess Kruger is Testarossa's linchpin, maybe Bernhardt, but Liko can bring mass protect here, so Sword Dance heal block won't go through. I guess Testarossa has to pick TsDL.
Yeah, Testarossa might have wanted to ban out the Licorice a lot quicker too, because, for example, the units Helena and Kroger, I don't think Helena is that great against Burn, because Burn can live. Burn can live the AoE.
Yeah.
So, but it is still very, very annoying. So I can understand the ban. But the Kroger ban, I don't think that's necessary at all. Yeah, I don't feel like the Kroger ban was necessary. I'd rather ban the Licorice there, try to get your AoE combos off, and see if you can win that way. Because the Licorice is gonna heal up a lot. If the Licorice was banned there, then pretty much have like no healers. Only have a mini heal in Luke. So I think that's definitely a misstep there from Testarossa. Could have definitely banned out Licorice a little on the 4th pick.
Yeah, in that case, Kruger, just one AoE could completely determine the tides of the game.
I'm not familiar with how Kroger can live Sherry as well. That's also another thing I'm not familiar with. I'm assuming Dark Ward lives, but I'm not sure if other stuff lives.
He won't live double hit, I'd imagine. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about Sherry. She'll kill most things with 2 hits. Which is generally only something you can do against tankless. But yeah, Testarossa I think picks TsDL here for teleport and strengthen. Maybe good for Kruger and Trinhuv. I mean, you're not going to pick Landius here. There's really no point, so it's probably going to be Oldius.
Yeah, this is very interesting picks from Testarossa. I'm not sure if it's very good. Um, he picks up the AoE unit, hopes your opponent picks up the tanks, but doesn't ban the healers that effectively. Feels kind of weird in that sense. The AoE strategy these days is very awkward because there's so many mini heals in Kagero. There's Luke. There's Licorice around that's pretty popular, and there's a bunch of other random mini healers as well. So it doesn't feel very strong um, relative to before, especially with a box of no Bozel. I feel like it's a little bit weak on that side. And then you have a bunch of single target units like Helena and TsDL that won't break the Hilda. Doesn't seem very good. Yeah, I'm not sure about Testarossa's pick ban and battle plan in this game.
Yeah, Liko's one of the best healers you can have against AoE. She has Mass Protect, which is just great for preventing any sort of heal block. She has Mass Resist to if you really need it for whatever reason, and she can just mass heal every turn. And her AoE healing output is really damn high. So she's really
AoE
good.
healing is really good, but her single target healing is not very good.
Yeah.
But AoE healing is, I think, pretty good, especially if you have that unique, the new staff, which adds a bunch of extra debuff removals.
Yeah, just every turn. That's the thing. She can do an AoE heal every single turn, which no other healer can really do. And her tiles.
Right. So Testarossa just ignores all the guard stuff. So Cherry can potentially just single target kill 2 units and ignore the burn.
Yeah, she actually brought lightning speed, which can be really good if she gales on the next turn. And...
yeah, if a Cherry attacks Burn's just dead, right? If he just gets double attacked, I feel like.
I mean, it depends. What does Hegemony remove, and did Burn bring werewolves or not? Which in this case he didn't. Testarossa could have brought Guardian Infantry to be even more safe. Like, I don't think double hit with Sherry's gonna kill that. It's also a Brave Burn. But it
Brave Burns are a little more tankier, but...
It is Apex Boots, so it's not as tanky as something else could be.
Yeah. But usually I think if you get Raging 3-seed by Cherry, your Burn's not gonna kill the Cherry, and then you get killed. You get half dead, and then you get stunned. And then she gets to pick anyone else she wants to kill.
Yeah, I mean, if he's stunned, he might as well be dead for a turn, right? So.
Yeah, Cherry doesn't even need a faction buff to kill a bunch of units because she has Ragnarok.
Heaven Sanction over Black Hole. I feel that Black Hole's a bit better, but it's okay. And Oldius brought faction buff. This is mostly endgame.
I have not used Luke with Heaven Sanction. Can you like choose the tile? Like,
yeah.
Like if she wants Heaven Sanction now, she can choose 3 tiles in front of her, right?
Yeah, she could, like, let's say she moves here, and then she could Heaven Sanction here, and then it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So it'd be a 7 range.
Yeah.
Nuke instead of a the usual 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically like Lana. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much our shelf. But yeah.
But this is definitely gonna be tough for Testarossa. There's 2 threats there. There's Cherry and Luke. Luke can pretty much kill anybody because he has the Firebrands, and Cherry can probably kill anyone as well. It seems to look very tough.
Maybe Kruger dispels guard or something.
Yeah.
That seems like, and then Helena or TsDL can snipe stuff after that. Oh, I didn't check if Liko brought Mass Protect, because that'd be really important. So yeah, Liko didn't bring Mass Protect, which suddenly means this Bernhardt Sword Dance is really tough for Trinhuv to deal with, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a misstep there. All you needed to bring was a mass heal and
Mass
mass
protect.
heal and mass protect, and maybe like a 2C AoE or whatever else she has. Because she does not need to bring faction buff because she has Tensei buff from Hilda.
What do you think about this Oldius 3C right here? I don't think it...
It's not gonna do much. Helena already has a bunch of movement.
Yeah, and she could just
She has
overwrite.
chivalry. Yeah.
She got a Tenyos, but I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. She still could have reached.
Yeah, I think maybe the mass defense lack of might be the downfall. Because this can heal block and the burn can heal block as well.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even fighting Kruger, like, supposing you did bring Mass Protect, he could still just go in and hope that he removes some heal block immunities.
Yeah, this is not great.
I think Liko should have waited a turn before moving. I think everybody still would have lived.
Yeah, this puppet might be dead.
Yep.
Yeah, it is dead. It's a big yikes. This is nearly going suicide, right?
Yeah. Crystal Warlocks just did all the work there.
Maybe this was a better band pick than I thought, but there was no counterplay from Trinhuv's side, which is kind of weird. Maybe he should have stayed back a little bit more and waited, but this is pretty dominating. It still might not be over though, because if he brought Mass Protect, this would be a lot closer. Like this would not been that effective. Then he just mass heals and heals back up.
Yeah, it would have been really hard for Testarossa to ever bust through that.
Oh.
And no, I'm casting with Zelda Straw. But I feel like you knew that.
No, that was a little bit weird one.
Yeah, I think Trinhuv just needed to bring Mass Protect on Liko. It's not much more to say.
Yeah, I feel like if he did just sort of guard it out there, I feel like he could have just teleported the Luke in and just killed someone, and that would have been one unit down.
Yeah.
Maybe it might have been a little bit tough to kill, but I feel like it could have been done, especially if you hide your Luke a little bit more safely.
Yeah, I guess given the skill set that he brought on Liko, he had to be, or Trinhuv had to be more aggressive there and start the trade game instead of letting Testarossa come to him. Testarossa takes out Liko for Ares, and interestingly, Trinhuv removes Illustrial on one of her better maps for Juggler. Now running 3 tanks.
Yeah. So the thing about fighting against AoE players is that if you trade once with them, it's quite good. Like if you play a 4v4, it's a lot better than you playing a 5v5, because that's 4 to 5 potential AoE units versus your 5 units. So if you can knock out one, it's a lot harder for them to kill you with the AoE.
Yeah, AoE characters are a lot more reliant on the combo, right?
Yeah. So I don't think it was a great move to move the Illustrial there for the dog. Maybe remove something else, like removing the Kroger or removing something that doesn't really help your defensive plan. I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't think Kroger does really do much against Testarossa.
Yeah, I feel that Illustrial would have been at the very least, a much higher ban priority for Testarossa.
Yeah, if not being a ban priority, you can just pick it and just trade with one of your opponent's units, and then you should be relatively okay.
Yeah. And we're probably going to see pretty similar ban pick routes. Trinhuv wants to play Tank Push, bans Kiura. Testarossa wants to play AoE, bans Rosin.
Okay, first pick's a healer, which is interesting. So here you want to just ban out the AoE units, right? You have 2 AoE units in a sense, yeah. I think that's fine. Kroger, I feel like you can kill though. I'm not sure if you want to ban out that unit. By the way, I feel like you can kill Kroger, but Lucretia can live with 2 lives. So I'm not sure about banning the Kroger there, but he is quite good AoE wise.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a bunch of other AoE units though. There's a bunch of other AoE units.
Kira's good against AoE too.
What was that?
Kira's good against AoE too, right?
She's okay. Yeah, she's okay. She's better than most units for sure. But I don't think you need to ban out Kroger, which you can kill.
Yeah.
Maybe you can ban him out later, but maybe ban out something a little bit that's harder to kill, like maybe someone like a dog. Himiko is fine as well. Something like that.
Maybe even Helena. But I mean,
Helena you can kill, but it depends.
And he's got 3 tanks. Helena's not the greatest. Second pick Luke, always good.
Okay, so he's second pick Luke. Why not just pick up the dog? Why not just pick up the dog and just annoy your opponent with the tanks? I feel like that's just fine as well.
Yeah, it's still really good against everything in Testarossa's box.
The thing about picking up like an assassin unit like Kagero, you can just trade. You can just trade, get free trades if you can. And dog allows you to just negate your opponent's AoE for the most part. He can't negate the anti-heals, but he can negate a lot of the AoE. Alongside Kagero, it should be relatively safe against AoE. So I feel like if he just picked up the dog there, he can just shut down your opponent's entire box. Just ban out the single target units, ban out the Luke, which is fine, ban out the Werner, and burn out the TsDL. I think you should be really good that way. And units like Burn, that single target can get killed by Kagero. I feel like that's a missed opportunity from Trinhuv's side.
Yeah.
Just pick up the dog.
But Lucretia's still really good, right?
Yeah, she is good, but I feel like she's not necessary for your game plan, which is to, can be to just survive AoE and pick off units with Kagero.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree.
Okay, Crimzo's a really annoying unit. His heal block cannot be blocked by Mass Protect, right? Is a unique heal block effect, right?
It is a aura within 3 range of him that reduces healing by 50%.
It's aura? I thought it was a debuff.
No,
that he applies. No?
It's an aura.
Aura,
minus 50% healing. So it is annoying. I mean, that'll definitely really reduce how much Kira can heal. I guess she can still just run back and heal with her 3C or 2C though.
Okay. He picks up a Kroger here. Yeah, Trinhuv is his mind is very offensive. He plays very aggressively. He picks up a bunch of aggressive units. I like playing more defensively. Once I pick up one aggressive unit like Kagero or Megalo, I just pick up defensively, and I'll just build my entire combo around that single unit.
Yeah, Trinhuv just seems like he's just picking good, self-sufficient units that can trade well. Kruger is sort of like the opener here. He can just move in, really mess up Testarossa's team, as long as Rosin doesn't get picked. And then Lucretia can do AoE. She's hard to kill, and she can pretty much... Well, at this point, she can't really kill Crimzo or Himiko, which it seems kind of like what Testarossa is going for, units that can't be easily killed by single target. It's also kind of a problem for Kiura, right?
Yeah, but even if she gets... even if she has no one to kill, she can still heal, which is fine. So she's a very versatile unit in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like Kroger pick is very weird. I don't know about picking the Kroger for Trinhuv.
Yeah, I mean, still doesn't ban out the Rosin or the Juggler.
Yeah, exactly. Picking up the Kroger there means you want to ban out units like Rosen, which you don't care about when you're playing defensively. You can ban out the dog if you want, because dog can jump in the AoE, but you need to ban out units like Rosen, which you don't want to do right now, because you just want to play defensively. But he's on the mindset, I gotta play aggressively, AoE my opponents, and try to shut them down that way. Not sure that's correct, but it's gonna be like a really, really barehanded fight for sure.
Yeah. Liko seemed like a decent pick here. You can bring
the only healer left.
You can bring mass resist, and yeah, you want something to help counter the AoEs.
Okay, yeah. The dog is kind of scary. Like Crimson can jump in, and then dog can jump in, and then Himiko can jump in, and then act again. It seems very, very scary for Trinhuv here, especially without that dog. Kagero is good there, but I don't think this is enough healing. Yeah, it's not enough healing.
And yeah, I mean, Testarossa is gonna get Rosin here, which, I mean, I guess it comes down to what can this Lucretia do against this dog, or is there any sort of combo there? It's gonna be difficult to kill him because Florentia can pretty much always full heal dog. Rosin Seal, as long as she brings 3C, which against this sort of composition, I would think you would. She can generally full heal dog. I mean, it's close. It depends on the Rosin.
Yeah, well, the Hilda there is just to buff up the Florentia for multiple act agains, but I don't think that's very necessary here. You could do it, I suppose, but I'd rather have the healer there, just to negate the Kroger.
And it makes sense that Trinhuv picks Hilda here. No reason to pick Landius.
Oh, yeah. Also, Rosen can sort of faction buff Florentia, I suppose, so it doesn't really matter in that sense.
It'd be a little awkward because you do want mass crystal healing and faction buff, but you also want 3C for the single target heals. But I guess you can always just leave Florentia last, right?
Yeah, I think you have enough heals. You don't need. You can just bring like Miracle. You can bring the 3C, and you can bring just healing.
Yeah, sure.
I think that should be fine. You don't need that much debuff removal. You can also bring faction buff too, I suppose. There's a lot of things you can bring. But Miracle should be really, really good against the on the jump in turn.
Yeah, Kimiko and Crimzo will get a lot of mileage out of it. Florentia probably brings mass attack here for them. I mean, dog could bring faction buff for Crimzo, but it doesn't really seem worth it at all.
Yeah, when you have mass attack, it shouldn't be worth it.
So yeah.
Okay, so here we have a very aggressive soldier's choice from Trinhuv. Let's see what he's gonna... Did he bring Ram with Hilda? He did not bring Ram. I think he should bring Ram there. Ram might be really nice against Crimzo and Dog.
He does bring faction buff on Liko, which makes sense. I mean, you wanted to buff Kruger and Kiera. You could have brought mass attack on Lucretia, but I think it's fine. Liko's more a healer in this composition anyway, so. But Trinhuv does really seem to like bringing Transform, which I guess against this team it makes sense. But no, I really like mass resist here. It's just really useful against Himiko, I think. And so we do get to see Empress guard Rosin up against Kiera, as we were talking about a bit earlier.
I don't think Kagero really cares about killing Rosen.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's hard to kill Crimzo as well. So there's not much things to kill except 2 healers and Dog. So it's kind of an awkward Kagero first pick. Like, you don't really have much to kill, but you first pick Kagero. Which makes me question that that Kroger ban and all that stuff.
Yeah, Kruger on Trinhuv's side seems not very useful. He can maybe remove some buffs.
But he has to move first right away, right? Because otherwise Rosen's gonna just protect everybody.
Yeah, she did bring Mass Crystal Healing. He has to move first, otherwise you will just never get through the rosin stacks ever. And Lucretia brought no AoE.
So I guess you block the you touch the dog. Is that what you do?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Himiko's gonna go too far forward. Crimso's gonna advance, and the healer's gonna stay relatively backwards, I suppose.
And there's nowhere dog can move that won't be in range of 3 people.
Okay, he touches dog. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so he's gonna play a little bit more slow, which is fine. You need a few turns to set up. Trinhuv should push very aggressively, I would think.
Yeah, he wants to zone Testarossa as much as possible, get Lucretia in threat range. Juggler didn't bring Great Dragon Barrier, he brought Master of Ice, so Lucretia, once she's in range, can have her pick. And her range is quite deceptive. It's very big and once her puppet starts getting active.
But the Hilda did not bring Ram. I think that might be something that might mess him up.
Yeah, against dog, you generally want Ram.
Ram's good against Crimzo as well. And the whatever 1C he brought was not very useful.
War Goddess, yeah, it's like minus... You know, I forget exactly what it does. I know what it does in PvE, but it does something else. Oh, it disables your weapon skill.
Yeah, but there's no single target attacking unit on Testarossa's side, so it's kind of useless. That's the thing about Hilda. I sometimes just forget to remove stuff because I'm so lazy. Like you bring Burn and you bring Hilda, you just don't remove the faction buff, even though the faction buff from Burn is just better. But Trinhuv is going in first. Okay. Yeah, I still have no idea what Crimzo does, to be honest. But okay. Master of Ice.
3C. Okay. Mostly doing that just so when Lucretia is in range that people are being guarded. This Kruger is actually like insane. He's doing 12,000 AoE damage with just 3 debuffs up. Like 1,500 in is really crazy.
Yeah, I haven't really paid attention to Kroger's stats, to be honest. He's not something I use very often. But I feel like Trinhuv should have moved his units a little bit closer. Like that Lucretia is not offensively positioned. I feel like that Lucretia could have just moved really forward and moved in on the second turn with the teleports.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure. Oh, okay, so here's what happened.
He got his attack buff removed.
Yeah,
from the faction buff.
Yeah.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Let's just watch the animation though. Yeah, I feel like if attack buff stays there, it did kind of look like she would die.
I think it would have 2-ticked the guards. How much HP the guards have?
They have 12,000.
12,000? He would have probably 2-ticked it. The thing is, he brought Sorcerers as well, though. Sorcerer's not gonna kill that, so I think that was a failed soldier choice, because that's not gonna kill the Princess guards.
Yeah.
Because they did 200 damage. Even with faction buff, it would probably do like 300 max per tick. So that's not gonna kill.
Yeah, needed faceless there.
Yeah, that's a huge waste. Yeah, to first pick Kagero, you gotta know your kills. You gotta know your kills. Otherwise, it's a really death sentence if you just suicide them in or don't kill.
Yeah.
Okay, so this aura
but it's player 1, so gets the kill anyway, and this is why Kira is really fucking annoying.
Yeah, 2 no required skills. Oh, this kills, okay.
Yeah, this Himiko does some pretty good damage.
I'm pretty surprised I killed.
I'm surprised that didn't, but it's because Sorks were 100% actually, so.
Well, he used Sorks, okay. Makes a little more sense.
Highlands are pretty tanky.
If Crimzo dies, how much HP does he revive by? 20%?
I think it's 20%. Yep, 20%.
20%.
So, but it's Glory of the World, and then he still has his revive up, and right now he can't be targeted, but as soon as he oh, does he have it?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
But wait, Lucretia tried to attack it with 3C and it didn't die?
Yep.
Can you check that again? That looked a little bit weird. Oh, he didn't have full HP.
Yeah, it was because
it's on a defense style, so.
And this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of big yikes from Luke.
Yeah, it's pretty clear why.
He almost died though.
So it's 4v4 at this point, and Kira's still really annoying.
Yeah, he's not dying at all. Nothing is killing. Nothing's dying. The single target from Himiko might just kill stuff.
Yeah. One other thing I was thinking was, Dog's kind of your best AoE DPS here at this point. Well, I guess Himiko. I don't know. I guess Testarossa wants to use Himiko last to try and get Himiko debuffs up. Or Crimzo debuffs.
Trinhuv should be fine here if he can just stabilize and just heal. Because there's AoE is gonna eventually run out. And then the Luke's eventually gonna kill some dudes.
Yeah.
That's not very much damage.
His damage is not the best, honestly. And
Yeah, his scaling is really weak. His talent thing is not very great. It did very little damage.
It's a Bracer Liko, so silence was never gonna happen. And I mean, it could have been more fortunate with Kira getting silence or whatever, but even if you get good debuffs there, like Liko just gets rid of them next turn, so.
Yeah. This is gonna do a decent amount, I would think.
Yeah, if he had attack buff, it would be way better.
Right? Yeah, heal it up. Yeah, that's like 3 debuff heals. Yeah, he has to kill this puppet because this puppet's gonna. Oh, okay. Crimzo's a 1 range unit.
Yeah, and now he can't be targeted. I swear, yeah. I don't. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that red aura thing means he can't be targeted.
No, I have no idea. I assume it's the healing plug thing.
Yeah, it just looks like the problem is Testarossa can't really get through. He used Juggler 3C really defensively. Maybe if it got saved, maybe if Himiko clocks.
This is he's just waiting for the assassin skills to go back up, so it should be eventual.
And then Kira should be able to kill Florentia, right?
Why didn't Luke attack with the dog?
Yeah, let's look.
He just paused there. He just waited. They scared thorns, maybe. And that would not die to thorns, I would think.
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well attack. I mean, especially if you're Gift of Eternal Life, you should definitely attack here. I mean, even if it's just basic attack.
Man, this is gonna be a stall fest. Oh, this actually kills. Oh, sort of.
Sorts are good.
And now can he get targeted by attacks? I have no idea.
It's the Moon Shadow, right?
So now can he get attacked?
Yeah, he can get attacked.
Okay, so he just got revived, can't get attacked.
Yeah.
I'm still very confused about this unit.
He has a okay, so it's
That's a lot of text.
Okay, yeah.
Moon Shadow, you cannot be targeted by.
Yeah, it's the Moon Shadow, and that's that reddish effect that appears around him. and so it happened last turn, and then it goes on 3-turn cooldown. Makes sense.
Yeah, but the Liko is in maybe danger now. That was a decent amount of damage.
This Himiko's been doing a lot of melee. I mean, you lose Liko for this, but it doesn't matter.
Not sure that was good. Oh, actually lived. That's unlucky, but
I was thinking even if you kill Liko here,
I mean, if he really wanted to kill, he should have moved upwards, and I think the ha would have killed the Liko.
She's a bracer.
Okay. Never mind. But yeah, that's a little bit unlucky. But I'm not sure if you need to risk that. Because the Crimson is not doing anything, right?
Yeah.
The Crimson is doing absolutely nothing. He's doing some reduced healing every so often, but his cooldowns are too high, and his AoE is really weak.
And he's not gonna do much against.
I don't think that was a necessary risk from Trinhuv anyway. But that was very unlucky from Testarossa. 22 HP is that's like 2 attack more.
Well,
that's unlucky.
Yeah. Well, even if Liko dies there, does what Testarossa have left to beat out these 3 units? I kind of feel like the answer is no.
The healers on Trinhuv's side is just the Luke afterwards, right?
I'm not sure if she's gift.
I think it is.
There's Kira too for more healing.
Kira has gift eternal life.
No, but
no, he doesn't. Right? She the range death.
Yeah, she has 3C at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would kill then.
Yeah, plus if Himiko is just AoEing, Kira is providing that passive healing.
Yeah, maybe if the Liko died, it would have still been fine. It just needs to kill the dog, and actually you don't need to kill the dog, just kill the Valencia with the dog having no magic card.
Yeah.
Should be enough. Yeah, so I guess even if the Liko died, would have been fine. But here you can just target the Valencia there. I think that would have been a little better, but eventually if the dog dies, you'll win.
It's Gift of Eternal Life, Lucretia. Could she reach?
No, it's on top.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is, he might get trapped a little bit. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
yeah,
there's a possibility he can get trapped.
This follow-up's just too much.
Yeah, this is why dog is not a good tank at all.
Against magic, anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
You need to make plays with dog, or you need to be fighting like a full AoE comp. And the thing about so many units now is that they can just flex between AoE or single target very easily.
Yeah, this is one of dog's better maps as well, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, it still definitely would have been a lot better if that Liko died.
Can the Luke move? Because if you got movement 3 down, then he can't move at all.
No.
He can move. Yeah, it's just over. So what went wrong there? I feel like the Crimson did nothing. The Crimson is such a sad unit. The Crimson did like pretty much nothing for AoE. He didn't debuff that much. His AoE was very, very weak.
I think that
it's sort of like a bad Vincent, right?
I think the thing about Crimson is that if you're going all in on AoE Rush, he can do a lot more just because he's another AoE unit. He's hard to deal with, and then he can get into that endgame. But when you're playing tank push with a tank and a healer, you just have a lot less AoE, and it's really hard for you to be able to bust him with a unit that has such low output as he does. But if you're playing Rush, he can just yeet in and then just provide minus heal aura for all your follow-up. The opponent can't exactly kill him, and then he can be pretty annoying, I think. But I have not seen much from him.
He's more annoying than good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess he's not very good against bracer units too, because some units like Joshua are not very good against bracer units. He's one of them, but Joshua does a decent chunk of damage at least. Yeah, okay, Crimzo's kind of a sad unit. I was thinking about raising him as well later on, but yeah, seeing that is very, very sad.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, it was all on Himiko to carry, and when Himiko did engage, it had just been too long, and her attack buff had dropped at that point. Maybe Testarossa could have used it a bit later. The other thing that I was thinking about was when Testarossa Juggler 3-seed to just hit one unit and maybe prevent Lucretia. I don't think Lucretia was in range yet, so I feel like Testarossa could have saved it.
He 3-seed to protect himself, which might not be the best play if you're going all in AoE push. But like I said, Trinhuv here, he played defensively, but imagine if he had a dog on his team. Then all these AoEs would do nothing at all. So that second pick dog was, I think, much better than Luke there.
Yeah, I agree.
But he got the work done with Luke, because Luke had some heals, had some threats against the dog as well. But I think if he just picked the dog there, he would have just been pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like we've summed it up pretty well. It's been like an hour, so you just want to call it here?
Yeah, seems good. Maybe next time do another hour or so.
Yeah. It's probably tomorrow. I'll do some more because I want to finish it all up before we go to round.
Are we in like which section are we in? That was a top 32, right? The 32 or 64?
That was 64. We still have just like I think 2 or 3 64 games left, and then just a couple 32. So yeah, and I want to get all the games done before Thursday-ish, because that'll be around when round of 16 starts. So yeah, I'll be doing more in the next couple days.
Okay. Alright, sounds good. Right, let me know whenever, I suppose. I'll try to see if I can do them as well.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you very much for joining me, Zelda.
Right, thanks. Alright,
yeah.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, bye. Anyway, that will be the end of the stream for now. I will actually be doing more reviews in like probably 8 hours, and I will be joined by Whooper again, actually. So yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my stream. You guys have a lovely night, and bye.